anyone looking for a pre-owned Nissan for less.
Well, school's out for a lot of college grads, but the jobs, well, they're just not coming in. Based on government numbers, roughly half of all college graduates are either jobless or underemployed. And it gets worse. The mountain of student loan debt now topping $1 trillion. And interest rates on those loans are set to double on July 1st. Lawmakers in Washington are scrambling right now to extend those lower rates. But is that enough? Well, let's ask a couple of recent college grads, Salvatore Lamastra and Hadley Heath. Welcome to both of you. Hadley, begin with you. You say college grads want jobs instead of lower interest rates.
Absolutely. It may be tempting in the short run to support a policy that continues to subsidize or even forgive student loans. But the truth is, those subsidies won't solve the underlying problems that are affecting the economic prospects of young people in the United States today. We need jobs. We need a robust economy to help us move forward.
Now, Salvatore, I understand you're actually under a significant amount of student loan debt, just taking out another round of loans to go to dental school, correct? So how do you feel about this interest rate situation? I mean, would it really be impactful to you? Would it be a hardship if those rates are allowed to double?
It would be. I think it's something that eventually is going to have to happen. As you said, I mean, outstanding debt is $1 trillion in student loans, and that's unsustainable, just like the housing market was. And the last thing we need is another type of economic bubble to burst and put us in another recession. And so I think an extension of the cuts is going to be great for young voters and will definitely help them with their vote. But in the end, just like Hadley said, it's all about jobs. When they go into that voting booth in November, they're going to be voting for jobs and not interest rates.
Here's a suggestion.
Absolutely.
Okay, I just want to follow up with Salvatore really quickly, and then we'll get back to you, Hadley, on your course of study, Salvatore, because I do understand you're taking out a lot of money in loans, but you're going to dental school. So was that part of your decision in whether or not to take the loans? What I'm getting at here is a lot of students take out massive amounts of loans, and they major in courses of study that don't necessarily lead them to the best paying jobs. So did that factor into your decision?
Yes, that's definitely a benefit for myself, and I don't fall in the category of most young voters. When I'm out of dental school, I'll have the income to repay those loans without a problem because there's a shortage of dentists and doctors in this country. I'll have no problem finding a job. But those students out there who have majored in, communication or something else where there are no jobs available right now, it's a huge factor for them, and those loans are just sitting there adding on debt. And without jobs to pay it back, they're not going to care what the interest rates are if they can't pay it back, period.
Hadley, I'll let you follow up to that and give me a sense of how tough it really is out there. We know the situation overall is tough with over 8% unemployment in the country, but what are the specific challenges for recent grads?
Absolutely. Well, they're at the bottom of the experience totem pole. Certainly, they're coming into a jobs market that's already suffering. There are many discouraged workers out there, so the national unemployment rate doesn't fully capture the entire picture. And young people who are just graduating, as you mentioned earlier, 1 out of 2, even with a college degree, are jobless or underemployed. Many people working in jobs, waiting tables, when they have a college degree. And this is going to have long-term consequences for them. It's going to affect their long-term earning power. It's going to affect their family formation, their ability to move out of mom and dad's basement. And this is so crucial for young people who want to be independent. They want to be contributing members of our economy and our society. They don't want to be dependent on mom and dad or mom and dad's health insurance. They want their own.
Now, clearly, you're a 2010 graduate, right, Hadley? So clearly, you're doing great. What kind of tips do you have for some of your peers out there who probably aren't as fortunate or worked as hard? Or how did you make it work?
Well, I would just say you have to think about what's marketable. Everyone has always told me my entire life, do what you love. And yes, there is an element of passion in the work that you might choose to pursue. But also consider where your specific talents fit into the marketplace. Consider what you can do that someone else is willing to pay you for. Because there are many things that you could do that you may be passionate about, but unless there's a demand for that profession, you may get yourself into a tough situation financially. So I would encourage people to really consider where is that crossroads between my passion, my talents, the skills that I want to bring to the workforce, and that place where there's a demand.
Salvatore, curious for your thoughts. How do you receive the president? How do you think about the president reaching out to specifically your age group, recent college graduate students recently as part of his re-election bid?
Well, he needs them if he's going to get reelected. In 2008, he won several states by less than 20,000 votes because young people showed up and voted for him. And after he was elected, I feel like he kind of left us in the dust and went on and did his thing as president. And now that he needs us again, he's all about, you know, forgiving student loans and lowering the interest rates of student loans and making sure he fights for us. And I think a lot of young voters are going to see past that, and he's very nervous that A, they're not going to show up, or B, they're going to vote for Romney because they want jobs. And he's going to have a very tough time re-energizing those young voters with the new message of hope and change, and I don't know if he'll be able to find that.
All right, Salvatore Lamasta and Hadley Heath, thanks to both of you for sharing your experiences with us. We really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day, too.